Greetings and salutations, YouTubers. This is ZillaFan85, back today with my latest video, my latest figure review. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at my Bandai Movie Monster Series 1968 Godzilla figure. So, definitely one that I've been meaning to get to for a little while now. As some of you guys may know, I did previously review the Bandai creation, essentially Bandai America version of this figure a little while back. But the thing was, that figure, I don't know, I liked it, but at the same time, the sizing on it was kind of weird, and I don't know, there are some things that left to be desired, especially those really pink gums that he had, in between his teeth. It was just kind of an odd figure. So I ended up actually selling that one. I got this one instead because the Movie Monster Series, the Bandai Japan version, I just happen to like it a lot better. So I was really glad that I did pick this up. Obviously, again, this is the 68 Godzilla. So this particular suit, the Soshingeki Goji, I believe it's called, appeared actually essentially to date the most Godzilla films that we've had. So 1968 was its original appearance in Destroy All Monsters, but it was also in 1969's Godzilla's Revenge, aka All Monsters Attack. Then again in 1971 for Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster, or Godzilla vs. Hedra, and then of course again for 1972 for Godzilla vs. Gigan. That was the final appearance. And you could definitely tell the suit had been through its paces, because it was getting pretty worn out by that time. But nonetheless, definitely an iconic Godzilla suit. Not my favorite, but I do like it though, for sure. But like I said though, I think Bandai Japan here, they did a great job with the figure, and definitely was happy to get this one for my collection. I know SH Monster Arts is going to be doing their own version of this, although they call it the 72 Godzilla suit in particular, so I don't know if that means that they're going to show the wear and tear on the suit. I don't know, but we'll see what happens when that one comes out. I don't know if I'll get it or not, but definitely glad to have this one. And either way, I think I'm going to hang on to this figure. I'm not going to be selling this ever. So let's go ahead and jump into the figure review, though, folks. We're going to start here. We got the tag, which I do have for the figure. As a lot of you guys know, I don't keep the tags attached. I take them off and then keep them as collector cards. So this tag, kind of a famous flaw on it, is the fact that the money shot here that they've got for the photo on the front does not depict the 68 to 72 Godzilla. It actually depicts the 1973 Godzilla, which appeared in Godzilla vs. Megalon. So very noticeably a different suit. So I don't know where the hiccup happened with that, but that's what you got for the tag there on the front. Of course, the 1968 Godzilla, and of course, again, trademark information 2006 when the figure was actually released. Toho, and of course the inside of the card with the legal information, some additional information there, and then the actual correct suit there on the inside of the tag, so you guys can see that. And then of course on the back, a nice little silhouette of the Millennium Godzilla there in 2006, and of course Bandai and all that other good stuff there. So very, very cool. I like the purple tag too on this. So now to go ahead and take a look at the figure itself, starting with the paint and the detail. Again, very nice, the nice signature charcoalish gray Godzilla skin tone. You guys can see that, and of course you got all the scales and wrinkles all around his body. You guys can see all along the face, going down to the neck and the arms. Of course, on the chest and abdomen area, and down the legs, and of course on the all along the tail with the different segments along it. And really, really nice. And there's a little bit of different shading on the figure as well, so you've actually got some different shades of that gray, like a different tone of it there. And you see starts from the center of the chest and going down his abdomen area there, and more of that on the kneecaps as well. So you can definitely at least tell the little bit of the highlights that they added there with those parts. So pretty cool. Nice little shading done throughout as well. And of course, the texturing for all the scales is done, very, very indicative of Bandai's style. And they're always pretty much right on the mark. Especially again, Bandai Japan really knows what they're doing. So, and then of course you got the face there. You got the white eyes and the black pupils, and the face itself obviously very, very indicative of that 1968 Godzilla. So you really can tell that that's him there. You got the nostrils there. Again, those pronounced eyebrows that he's got above the eyes, sort of wide, almost puppy dogish type eyes, but with a little bit of a gruffness to him. So it's not quite as puppy dogish as the 73 Godzilla, but you can definitely see a little bit of that on there. And then of course you got the teeth, nice sort of off-white for the teeth there, not individually sculpted, just kind of painted on in between the gums there, which are done in this sort of like a darkened peachish color, I guess you could say. Again, though, much better looking inside of the mouth, in my opinion, than the Bandai creation version, which, like I said, was just like a very like loud bubblegumish pink color. So I don't know where they were going with that. That's kind of been a thing that people have stated about that figure, though. But as you guys can see there, and you can see the detail for the tongue as well if you look closely enough inside the mouth. I don't know how well the camera is going to pick it up, but you can definitely see it though there. And again, some of the nice lines and wrinkles and whatnot along the front of the neck. Very, very indicative of this Godzilla's design. Nice texturing along the face and what have you as well. And of course you got the dorsal spines here. And of course very Showa-esque, the very small row of the or small outer rows, I should say, of the dorsal spines there. And they're done in this sort of lighter grayish color, almost a silverish type color. And then, of course, you got the larger spines for the center row there. And again, very indicative of the Godzilla design here. And of course, you see it kind of where it starts actually at the top of the head, right up about there. And then the spines get larger as they go down his back. And then, of course, sort of taper off into the tail. And you do get the 3 rows of the dorsal spines all along the tail. They're painted for a good portion of it. It kind of just tapers off as you go down into that charcoalish gray color, but you can still tell that they're there. They look pretty good. Nice texturing on the center spines there, as you guys can see. Definitely looks really, really awesome in my opinion. I really think this is a good figure here. And of course you got the bottom part of the tail with the different wrinkles and line patterns and whatnot. So they captured that detail work pretty well there. Again, all the segments along the tail. And of course you got on the bottom of the feet, very signature Bandai, you got all the trademark information. So the Toho copyright there. And of course the Bandai made in China there. You guys can see all that. And of course you got these sort of silverish gray nails for the toenails there. Not too sharp to the touch, but they're detailed pretty well, I'd say. And then, of course, the same for the finger claws here. You guys can see that. And, of course, some little bit of detail work on the inside of the palms as well. The guys, as you can see as well, so the paint is mainly on the top side of the claws for both the feet and the hands. But I still think it looks pretty good nonetheless. And as far as paint and detail goes, I think that pretty much wraps it up for that. Next up, we're going to go ahead and take a look at sizing. So, or not sizing, I'm sorry. Next, we're going to take a look at articulation first, I should say. I apologize about that. So, pretty basic articulation, standard fare for Bandai. There's nothing at the neck. I believe there's a glue seal here at the base of the tail, but like a lot of other collectors say, I don't like to break glue seals, so nothing there. But you do get full rotation at both arms. So you guys can see, you can go all the way around there, and they spin pretty freely. And because of the positioning of them, they are actually fairly posable as well for different positions that you'll put them in. So, and then the legs can both rotate as well, and yep, they will go all the way around for the most part, but you kind of have to force it there at the end, as you guys can see, just because of the way that the sculpt goes. If you kind of really yank it, you can get it to go. But the thing is, I kind of actually wouldn't recommend doing that, honestly. So I would say probably stop about there and rotate back. And the same, of course, with the other leg. But decent range of movement nonetheless. So like I said, standard fare for basic articulation. Now we'll get into sizing. So let's start with the ruler. And we can take a look-see for you guys. So, you guys can see he stands right at, pretty much right at 6 inches even Steven there. So, again, because he is a 6-inch figure, so pretty much perfect as far as that goes. And just as a size comparison, I have my previously reviewed my Bandai Movie Monster Series 1972 Gigan figure. So you guys can see that there, and you can see the sizing. And just to kind of lift up the camera just to show you guys. But as you can see, they actually size in pretty much perfectly together, I think. So, and you know, if you're going to put them like on a display shelf together, I think you can't go wrong. I think the sizing is really well done there. So very awesome. So, and other than that, you've got pricing as far as what you'd be looking to pay for this figure. It just depends where you get it. Again, obviously it's an older Bandai figure, so you know, the MSRP I believe is around $20 or $30 when this figure came out, but obviously now it's definitely gone up in price. I know at one point people were saying it was over $100. I don't remember paying that much for this. I think I got mine, I'd say, for around $50. You know, obviously US dollars. I'd say that should be a pretty decent price of what you could pay. But again, it depends. You know, if you're going to look on sites like eBay and whatnot, you just have to kind of put a feeler out there and see what the sellers are trying to get for this figure. So, but whatever the case may be, though, I really think Bandai did a great job here with this figure, and definitely the way to go. Like I said, out of the options for the '68 Godzilla, certainly between this one, the Bandai Movie Monster Series, and the Bandai Creation, aka Bandai America version, I would say definitely this one is the way to go. But that's just my opinion now. And I think because this one's actually a little bit smaller as well, so I think it actually sizes better with other figures. But again, that's just my opinion. Other than that, though, folks, I think that pretty much covers it for this video. I would certainly like to thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. If you would like to like and or comment on any of my videos, please feel free to do so as well. And just remember, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you be good to yourselves, and sayonara.